We ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay.
Does anybody need a town report? 'Cause I already got mine.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, she already brought a bunch in.
That's all right.
Tony took care of it. I'm gonna open up the public hearing. What are the numbers? There's no numbers for that?
You don't need
No.
one for this.
Like an RSA number? No.
Yeah,
Nope.
RSA numbers?
Nope.
So I just open it up, and, is anybody here to speak on that?
Is this for the Leisure Lane project?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm certainly happy to explain it.
okay, do we want, is that what we
Yeah,
want to do?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Have them come on up, and because this is bigger than the last one.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Okay, this is just a road change, name change on a road. Leisure Lane is changing from Leisure to
Bear Lane is the suggestion.
the Bear Lane.
That's
Okay.
correct.
In your packets, you have addresses that will change, but this is a revision. Oh.
I guess my first question before we get started is, why is it changing from Leisure to Bear?
Great question. So my name is Zach Branscombe. I work with the Division of Emergency Services and Communications, or New Hampshire 911. This project is different from the last one that we did. Still seeking to meet our standards, but this is a correction rather than something that's happening because of the expansion of the town. So originally, when Leisure Lane was plotted out, it actually bifurcated. So you can see on these maps, I'll share with you here. It travels up from Canal Road, up towards the, there's like a cul-de-sac at the end with quite a few cabins on it. But there's also a section that travels from Canal Road to itself. And on short sections, maybe a three-way intersection where you just have a small triangle in the middle of the intersection, this isn't a big deal. But the problem here is you actually have houses that are being accessed off of this segment. Our addressing system works as a number line. So the numbers really only make sense if they go in one direction along a single line. Once you have two different lines with the same name, if I said, hey, could you head over to 15 Leisure Lane, we don't know if it's on the western leg or the eastern leg. And, you know, you're probably looking at maybe 5 minutes travel time all told, plus the time to figure out that, nope, this is the wrong section of the leg, but that's still a long time in emergency response. So what we're doing here is we've taken the section of Leisure Lane that services the least number of houses. There were actually 2 houses on here, and a third one is kind of what clued us into this being a problem, is because the town of Wakefield asked for an address for this house labeled as 15. And I said, hey, I don't have a great number to give you for this. Anything that I give you could be confused for being on the other side. So we've worked for quite a period on working with the residents to develop new road names. And I believe the public hearing tonight is to ask the board or to speak about the road name change, give residents a chance to oppose or ask questions about the project, and at the end, for the board to make a decision whether they want to proceed with the road name change or to leave it as Leisure Lane.
So you only have two houses that are being affected by this.
2 existing houses, yeah. There's a third that is, I think, 90% constructed the last time I was there, so it's probably done by now. They need an address. But yeah, there was a pre-existing, I believe, 77. And this other address that you see now is 6 Canal Road. This was actually addressed off, 6 Bear Lane. This actually was originally addressed off of Canal Road because it's a corner lot. Our standards say, hey, where the driveway is where we want to have the address, because that's going to tell the responders how to get there. So as a part of this project, we also kind of roped them in to fix this address as well. So I think this is a really strong project. It's a nice small change to maintain the addressing integrity. And if I understand correctly, Larissa worked really hard to get voluntary consent from all affected property owners, and that would be owners that owned land along this lot, not just the ones that had addressed structures. And of all the ones she heard back from, while they may not have been thrilled about the idea, because it is kind of a little bit of work to kind of address or update all your addresses, they did consent to the change. The reason that we have to have the public hearing is because one of the landowners did not respond to the request for voluntary consent. So, to my knowledge, we don't have a strong opposition anywhere on the record. We just don't have full consent from everybody involved.
Did they give you the name, or did we pick the name out?
I believe that the residents pick the name.
Perfect.
What we usually do is we say, hey, can you submit 3 to 5 possible road names, and then your team at the town and my office will knock off any ones that are kind of close to anything that already exists, so that we're not running afoul of 231, 133, which would prevent duplicate or confusingly similar road names.
No, I like that. I like if we're gonna change somebody's road name, I'd rather them name it and consent to it. That's good.
Yeah,
Is there
well,
any consideration of saying just West Leisure Lane and East Leisure Lane?
that's definitely a thought. Unfortunately, that type of naming convention would be prohibited by 231, 133
Okay.
as a duplicate road name. The addition of a prefix directional, west, north, east, or even a postfix directional doesn't prevent the road from being duplicate, and it can still really easily be confused by
Okay.
dispatchers.
Just a question, yeah.
No, it's a good one. That's been the approach for many years until that law was instituted, and you see it all over the state. You know, you have Endicott Street east and north in Laconia, north and south Main Streets
Yeah.
in basically every single town. But believe it or not, those are grandfathered in, but would be prohibited by the new law.
Yeah, we have a few up in East Wakefield, too.
I mean, I on my side, I don't have any objection to what you're doing, and I'm sure that we don't. I mean, it's the right thing to do, and it's for safety and the 911 number, and I get all how it works. So, I guess, what do we give him the consent by consensus? Do we make a motion to have him move forward?
Motion would be great.
Right, I'll entertain a motion for state to move forward on his Bear Lane, from Leisure Lane to Bear Lane.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good job, move forward.
Thank you very much. Before we close, I just
Yeah.
want to give credit to your town. Both Larissa and Pete did a lot of work on this. And I know they actually, this new house here that's labeled as 15, my original plan had 13. But they
We
worked.
heard the story.
Oh, did you? Good. I think that's fantastic. I think there's totally room for that. And I think it's great that they were willing to work with the residents.
So if
So
anyone builds here, they're gonna get 13.
Yeah, somebody's gonna get it.
looks like 11's free to be.
Zach, do we have anything on the horizon in town?
No, fingers crossed things look blessedly boring for the
Okay.
foreseeable future.
And unless we get people to agree on that access road one, that's not gonna go anywhere. I came across that paperwork the other day.
Yeah. I have received requests from a captain with your fire department
Yeah.
regarding, if I may, there's this campground right up here.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a number of structures and interconnected camp roads, and it understandably provides them a fair bit of consternation. There was a request to have that area addressed. Our office has been, we haven't had the opportunity to get up there because there's probably going to be quite a few structures. It's going to be a very large project. But it would involve naming a number of those camp roads and kind of GPS mapping all of the constructed buildings that are on those lots. I would really like to be able to get out there this summer and do it. We tried in early fall, but it was raining that day, and it was just,
Yeah.
we couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you won't get out there now, and you don't want to go out in the spring, so
Yeah.
summer's probably the best time. Yeah, Pack a lunch, that's gonna be a long one.
Yeah, I expect so. I think it's worthwhile. I think
I do too.
It's a busy area.
Yeah.
And the likelihood of a medical emergency out there is reasonable.
Sure.
So there's definitely value, but it certainly will be a project. Addressing campsites is always a challenge because they've all grown so organically. You know, you look at a newly built city and everything's a grid.
Right.
And those campsites are probably the polar opposite of that.
Yeah.
So it'll be an adventure, and we'll
Yeah, this,
do our best. Other than that, I'm not aware of any, certainly no road name changes or address changes on the immediate horizon.
Okay, great.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Good job.
you're just gonna hold this open for a while, Charlie, to,
Yeah, I'll hold it open till we get to the end, I guess. Be fine.
You don't have to, but you can if you
I'll give
want.
somebody a chance if they
Okay.
wanna come in after they just heard what he said, and
violate.
Except that, I'll put that in the
That
file.
we approved
You have already.
we approved it already, yeah.
oh, so do we even need to bother then?
Yeah, I'll probably just close it then.
All right, I'll close the public hearing. And we'll move on. We have no appointments.
Correct.
Unscheduled comment? Go ahead, Rob.
I know your minutes are on the agenda, so I'm gonna try to go back to your last meeting a little bit, and I would assume that you would concur that, the minutes are an agenda item that I could speak to. Is that correct? Would that be all right?
Say that again?
Your last meeting, there was some discussion, was there in your minutes that's on your agenda?
Okay.
So can I address
Go ahead.
some of that discussion? The franchise agreement with Spectrum, which was Time Warner, which was, started out grassroots, I believe. That was signed on December 11th of 2013. I had said 2011, so I was wrong, I was reading the wrong numbers. I brought the list, I brought us most of the agreement. There were 10 buildings at that time. And I think Dino had said at that last meeting, and maybe the minutes would reflect, that we're paying Spectrum now somewhere close to $2,500 a month.
Right around that, yes.
All right, so how many, that's not been an ongoing thing, all right? I mean, it was a
I don't know if that went up when we signed 3 of our buildings with the fiber stuff and the free phones and all that. So it might have gone up a little bit from there, yeah. But that's 10 buildings.
just, I mean, how many years have
Have we
you
been
estimated?
paying?
Because I'm looking in these things, and there's no vendor payout to Spectrum anywhere for any years. So, I don't know, you know, I mean, we wanna revisit that.
Right. Right.
Because according to these reports, there's no payments to Spectrum, and there shouldn't be. So I'm here to say that we had 10 buildings drops that were dropped, and services, plural. And service is described as the cable, the internet, and the phone. And we didn't have all of those services or all those needs in each building, but they were available through Time Warner at the time, I believe was who the service provider was. So, just for accuracy, and hopefully if there's a need for a committee, you'd consider posting it for a while, getting as many people involved as possible, because we shouldn't be paying Spectrum anything.
I agree with that.
That agreement was a 10-year agreement. It expired in '23, so '24, '25, this would be the third year of an automatic renewal. There's no mention of an automatic renewal in this franchise agreement. So due diligence would be, they're finally reaching out back to you,
Yeah.
because they know there's competition.
Right.
Competition is great, should always be. It'd be nice if there was 3 or 4 people wanting to bid on our town. Probably won't get it. And what's always been the catalyst for the folks down there in Rochester, they would have to buy not the utility poles, but all of the hardware that's on the poles that the previous provider had invested in. So that's one of the reasons why people don't follow through on a bidding process, because they don't want to invest in what's already, you know, would be a fair payoff to the provider. If there's a committee on the horizon, I'd like to volunteer, I'd like to be on the record as a volunteer, and I hope I don't get canceled out of that. I've got some pretty good history with the cable thing, and I got a whole bunch of paperwork that could be reviewed and checked off, as part of the process, and I'd love to help out. One other comment. Where the heck is our street light? So I'm coming home from York on Monday night, 10 o'clock, 10:30, I'm down there doing the snow team for the buses. Coming up on Stoneham Road, no light, I'm almost off the road, and this is really, truly, I mean, I know all 3 selectmen have lights at the end of their roads. I go up and I look, okay, everybody's got lights at the end of their road, what happened to Stoneham Road? The light did come back on at Palmer's Motel, the crossing there, and it's great, it's wonderful. But anything on Route 16 really should be lit up. And it's not me, just me, that needs that. I mean, my eyes aren't getting any better, and it was all white, you know, it was still, the storm had stopped on the coast, but it was still storming here at 10 o'clock, 10 past 10. And I was lucky I was in the Subaru and not in the bus, because I would have been in the ditch. You just can't see it when it's all one color. When there's contrast, black pavement, white snowbanks, you can see it a lot better. It's a safety issue, and I'm not the only person that's blind as a bat out there on the road.
Have you called the state on that? Because I believe it's on the state road, and they're the ones that took it down, aren't they?
When you call and I put in 3 different requests, and you have to put in the state highway as the address.
Right.
So it's the state obviously doing that. And I was just under the assumption that we'd be getting it any day because they did the
Right.
one by Palmer's, but it's still,
So we just work on it and.
yeah, we're running into a dead end, but
And
I
got
don't
an
know why
extra
it's not
street-
up.
I have an extra street light in my file.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
If you let me climb a pole, I'll put it.
Not us letting you do anything, it's not us.
No.
Yeah, do we pay for those,
Because
right?
We
The town
pay- yeah,
pays
we
for
pay,
them
right,
as,
for all of our
right.
streetlights, yeah.
And so I guess the next question would be, are we paying
Are we
for it?
paying for a dead light,
A
right?
dead light? How does that work?
But on the other hand, I remember years ago when it was decided we should shut off some of our
Some of-
street
I
lights.
do remember
It didn't
that.
save anything.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it just kind of,
True,
yeah,
true,
so,
good point.
yes, you're paying for a dead light,
Yes.
but you're,
It's not, it's peanuts on
really
the, yeah, I
isn't.
remember going through that, yeah.
I
And
remember
Grandview pays for theirs.
Well, it was the state who took it
So
down,
does
right?
Ravenport.
Yes, the state took it down.
Okay, so they need to put it back.
It
Yeah.
really is a safety thing. And
But we don't know
Yeah,
why
I
they
know.
took it down.
Well, I know we have no issue wanting it. I mean, that's, you know, just so you understand that we didn't take it down. I've only heard you mention it, a couple of times.
month ago, yeah.
Yeah, a month ago, and I assume, cause we just had one put up, so like you
Right.
thought, I thought they were just putting them up, so we'll mention it again, and
I'll try to be quiet about it.
that's okay. I mean, that's how you get it.
But if I get a tow bill, if I have to get towed out of that bank, and you guys are gonna get the bill.
Okay,
Can I,
yeah, go ahead.
I just wanna ask Ralph a question on the cable. Was in the franchise agreement, and maybe Dina knows this too, is there a certain bandwidth that was free to the town buildings? Like,
Yes.
you know how things have changed, right?
Yeah,
So
oh,
we
yeah.
need more bandwidth, that's why Dino's
Right.
interested in, looking into this. Does the contract say that, I feel like I remember it being something, yeah, that you can have this, but you get this much
Right.
of
It's
bandwidth.
1,200.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
Bs or something like that. But in this contract franchise agreement, it does say the following year, or when the digital service is available, they will give the town digital upgrades.
Yeah. do
So I
remember-
think they've been doing
remember
all
that.
the glass wire, they've been upgrading the wire to glass or whatever it is. And it's there, and it's just, when I'm thinking $30,000 to Spectrum a year,
No, it's crazy. I happen to agree with you, and I think it's time we really sit down. We got a good contact now, so
Right.
I think we need to invite them in and go over some of this stuff because
Yeah,
it's
been
long
enough
overdue.
years
We
for us to
haven't,
have
we
them.
talk about it every year, I think, and we haven't done it.
just so the board knows, kind of what my plan is, and I've alluded to this, to get past the elections.
Right.
Right, no offense, but to get past the elections, we have a full board that we'll be with, and we've got Fidium ready to come back, and he wants to come in person, and then we've got Spectrum that also wants to talk to us, because you're right, they know that somebody else is trying to get our business, so they want to come in as well. So we've got these two contacts. It's just
Rochester used to be Comcast, and now it's something like Clarabelle or something, Clarabelle.
Is it Breeze? Is it Breeze? Or?
It might be Breeze Communication, Breeze Line.
Yeah.
Breeze line, yeah, because that's
So
what we.
invite them too, because the more people that
And
are
they're
bidding.
even worse, I can tell you that. We're having some major issues over here too with them. They're not responding, they're not,
All right, thank you very much.
so, good job, okay. Anybody else? All right, we'll move on. Unscheduled, unfinished business, we get the sidewalk replacement RFPs.
so on this one, Mr. Chair, I spoke to Brock about this. He's obviously not here tonight. He would like to not open it, keep it sealed, and he'd like to wait a little bit longer. He might try to get another one, maybe do another RFP, but unlikely. But he does want us to wait till he can be here because he's a little concerned that it's going to be a sticker shock. So he just wants to be here when that's open. It's up to the board, but I don't see any real reason why we need to open it because we probably wouldn't take any action on it.
Yeah, we can't do anything now with the snow, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if he just wants to be here when we open these things so he can probably explain them and how they
Yeah,
work.
he'd be able to explain it for
Okay.
sure. All right. Thank you.
New business?
Can I ask one question about that? Do we still have money tucked away for that?
Well, that money all fell to the bottom many years ago. It was
It was
you were explaining it to me.
$114,000.
What's that?
I thought it was $114,000
Something
that
like
we had
that, yeah.
at one time, and then we used it for something.
It was staying in one line it was set to stay there for a few years, and then when we passed that, it did fall to the bottom.
Yeah.
So no, we don't have that sitting right in a special account.
Where did that money come from?
That was a special highway grant.
It was just a highway grant.
It was SB something.
Yeah, but it was specific for sidewalks, wasn't it?
It was, because we were gonna do some down Forest, Forest Hills there.
Oh yeah.
They were gonna do one to the school there, and because I remember when I used to live there,
Yeah.
they started, they sent out a survey to all the people
Yeah.
there.
I think my predecessor used about 10,000 of it, and then the rest just kind of fell. Yeah.
Okay, this one's for Mark. We got a purchase order for $15,200, and this is for the broken gate at the transfer station.
Oh, jeez. All right,
Can I get a motion to carry that?
I will make that motion.
You will or you won't?
I will make that motion. We gotta fix it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it's coming out of their budget, right?
yeah, I thought that
Well, it's
would
coming
be,
out
would be
of-
appropriate for you to pass it.
Yeah,
So is it coming
Why,
out
you didn't
of,
break it?
No, but,
it's coming out of the capital reserve?
Yes, it is.
yeah,
So I guess my question before I second is, what is the language on that capital reserve?
Well,
Like, does it say just transfer station capital
Mr.
reserve?
Daniels is
or-
here, and he's an expert on this one. It is probably the most, I don't want to say vague, but it's a pretty open capital reserve.
Okay.
It says for the transfer station facility.
And did we check with the trustees to make sure that this was okay?
you want me to
before
second
we-
it?
No, I'll second it. I'm not gonna say I'm in favor of it until we know
That's fine.
if, because and I think we've talked about this before, any capital reserves that we're like, maybe we should check with the trustees prior to bringing it to the board to make sure that it's gonna pass through the trustees instead of passing it here first
I
and
think
then
we can
bringing
make that
it off.
decision.
So,
I don't think we should have to go to the trustees every time we wanna make a decision,
I disagree.
okay? Then
well,
we can.
they have to, you look at it and approve it, though, the
Right, because
trustees.
they do the final,
I understand, but this is what it's for. It's not necessary, it's something that we need. And it's been open down there, and this is, we've been talking about this for a year now.
Well, this is the transfer station, so I know, and I'm just.
Oh, this is the transfer station.
station.
Yeah. I
This
thought
is not,
this was the
no,
sewer
no, no,
department.
this is not the
Correct.
sewer one.
This is the transfer
This is
station.
transfer
Oh.
station, this is totally
Then
different.
I guess I'm not up to
We
par.
wouldn't have made that motion, because we wouldn't have gotten it.
I know, I'm like, no, we wouldn't do
I'm
the
not
sewer.
sure then,
No.
I apologize, because this is what, I thought, I didn't realize we had a broken
I didn't
gate.
realize we had a broken gate down there either. So it's just a conversation, right? Just to make
Which I
sure
understand,
that we're
and
using
I
the
apologize,
funds.
I truly thought this was, I thought this was the sewer department, that this is something we've been talking about for a year now,
Right.
and I figure it was time
The one
to-
down there is not
move
broke.
Which one?
The one down at the sewer is not broke.
No, that one's been
That one,
replaced.
we've already
Yeah,
replaced
we
that one.
already did that one. Yeah.
All right, so do you wanna remove your thing, and do you wanna discuss it, or do you wanna move this forward, or
I think that one's pretty, cut and dry, so,
this one here?
yeah.
Oh,
And if,
then
and if
okay,
we
I'm
have,
good
if
with
they have a problem with it, they'll come back, so.
Okay.
But
I can read the description if you'd like, so
Go
we
ahead.
get a little bit of information. This is off of the company that'd be doing it, and gave the quote: provide and install a new BFT barrier gate system and access for the facility entrance. Barrier gate replaces the need for a physical gate and is contained in one cabinet. Access control will be a standalone keypad or transmitters. Installation will include the following, and it gives a list of everything that's going to be there.
So this is maybe similar to what's at
It
the
sounds like
other?
it's similar, but I don't think it'll have the computer software behind it. But it will be similar as far as the key action.
Can they act like, because I know they have to walk down there to shut the gate, is this something that they can shut remotely?
You mean like from the way house or
Yeah,
something?
because you're putting a keypad on it, so there's electricity involved.
I know
Oh,
that
yeah,
they,
is there electricity at that? Must be, at that
Well, there's-
far end
there's a
of
pole
that
there, I
gate?
know that.
there's a pole, but it does mention that electricity is going to have to get in there.
That's what the 15,000's for.
Has this been discussed more? I'm just, to be honest with you, this is the first I've heard of it.
So it says it excludes conduit, power, concrete pads. So that 15,000 does not include conduit, power, or concrete pads. So
All right,
I
I'll
almost
withdraw
feel like
my
we need a
motion, get
little-
more information.
I think we need more information.
And I'll agree with you. And again, I
Yeah.
apologize, but, because I actually thought we were talking about the sewer thing that we've been talking about for a year.
I thought it was just a physical gate.
All right.
But Mrs. Williams brings up a good point, and it's something that we should discuss and maybe get a plan for, because you as a board can accept something and say, yep, that's a good capital reserve, and it can get sent to the trustees, and then they can not approve it. So we've talked to legal, and we've gone round and round. We're not trying to start a fight with the trustees or anything, but we want to know, is there a tiebreaker? And there isn't. It's a very gray area for New Hampshire law, because selectmen are agents to expend, but they do have to sign off on it. So it's one of those things, do we come up with a system that at least we float the balloon out there just in case there's something, and then we can have a meeting prior, we could invite them in, so we could discuss it. That's something we might want to talk about, but again, we have to see what happens after the election.
Yeah, so I think just getting more information from Brock as far as
Yeah, because
how much is the conduit, the power, and the concrete pads, if that's gonna be like an electrical thing, if that's, sounds like that's what that is.
No, I'll agree with
there's
you.
electricity on the pole, by the pole, but again, that's another expense if it's not in that. So
Right.
I definitely agree with
Like I
that.
How much
said,
is in that
I
capital
only,
reserve, do we know?
all I saw was a replacement of
The
the
gate.
broken gate.
Yeah.
And, I'm saying,
That gate
we're
ain't
still
broke.
fighting on that gate? And sorry, I looked at Tom.
No, I've been there when they closed that gate a couple times, and it
All right,
scrapes all
About
around.
33.
33 in there?
Yeah.
all right, we'll move on. So we got some redemption of tax acquired property. The amount due $44,807.42. Property located on 271 Main Street.
Yes, and as a refresher, this was the one that the board kind of had a lively, healthy discussion about, and decided to ask for the entire amount. And
So
that's
this
it.
is the entire amount
Yes.
that pays in.
And they paid it?
Yes,
Yeah.
we have it.
Of course it did. I'll make that motion.
Alright, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No capital reserve expenditures? We do.
We do. There you are. It's the payment on the fobs,
Oh, okay,
Oh.
yeah.
the locks that we've installed.
Yeah, so this is, I'll make the motion for the amount requested is $1,910, and its resulting balance remaining is $13,713, and I believe that's 10 cents. And this is for the Town Hall Improvement Fund.
And a correction on that, Mr. Duffy, I just read that it says final payment. It's the final payment for the gentleman that came in with the computer programming and the electrical end of it. We have not received our bill for the hardware yet. Okay, so
Okay.
just want to be clear.
How's that been working? Has it been working good?
Really well. It's been working really well. As long as you have it set up in advance, the different programming, like we have 8 different programs right now that I kind of shuffle every morning. Tony and I came up with a kind of a cleaner system because right now people are going through Tony to get this room sometime in April. So I've created a schedule for that. So now we've got a reminder that she'll remind me. We move that to the top, and then the doors will be open for a period of time. Like yoga, for example, it's open. The doors are open just for about a half hour, then they shut down, and that's a safety thing for the ladies upstairs.
Yeah.
You
That's a
know.
great, yeah.
So we have that, and this weekend we'll have it open for Val. She'll do her last Saturday, and then business hours. The doors open at 8 and they close at 4.
Did they take a look at that door? Since when the last time I checked it, it was still,
They haven't, but we're getting the same group out to help us with the connector door,
yeah,
and I'm going to have them look at that. Yeah, the way it's not latching correctly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Did he make a motion?
so,
Yeah, I did.
Oh, he did. I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Correspondence?
You want to do those there?
Yeah.
Map and lot only?
Yep, map and lot only. We've entered into a payment agreement with a couple of properties, and you guys might recall map 195 lot 9 and map 111 lot 1. We're gonna pass these around. The way the policy reads is if people start to fall behind, they get a letter from my office, and then if that's, I don't wanna say ignored, but if there's no response, they get a letter from the board, and that's kind of where we're at right now. Again,
How many days in between of each thing do you?
A month.
A month from the
It
time.
doesn't say in the policy, it refers to the first breach, the second breach, the third breach.
Okay.
But 30 days passed without any response.
So then this will go out and then, oh, if not, it says it right here. Not
Yeah.
addressed within 30 days.
it's not the board's wishes to
Mm.
take anybody's house. We've entered into a payment agreement, and it's
So we
not,
at least need to get them to talk.
we need them to at least respond to us. And I'd be more than happy to sit down with anybody, you guys know that, bring them in my office, but we just can't. We can't get hold. I don't wanna say we can't get hold of them, they'll come in, but they very quickly leave. They don't come to see me.
Oops.
It's unfortunate.
It is
It is.
unfortunate. I'll make a
It is.
motion that we sign both letters.
Yeah. I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye. I'll just sign first.
unscheduled matters, comment? Go ahead, Bill.
I'll wait for everybody else. So the topic of capital reserve funding is brought up, and it gives me a question to ask about, warrant articles have a specific intent. And if they're passed, that means that that specific intent is to be followed through on, right? So I'm thinking about, and I know it's a separate political subdivision, school district and the buses, but it's been interwoven now that the school district has ceded over a school bus to the Parks and Rec, or two of them. And my question would be, and maybe you guys can answer it, maybe not. How can we raise and appropriate funds for a specific purpose and then turn around and gift the assets that were purchased through that specific purpose, that specific capital reserve fund, to anywhere? You know, it'd be like saying we want $200,000 for a new fire truck, and then a couple years later, let's give that fire truck to the Parks and Rec, so that when they have their fireworks, maybe it'll catch fire and we need to put the fire out. I don't think that's really legal to be subverting funds that are raised and appropriated for a specific purpose and then gifting them or diverting them to other areas, whether it's in the same political subdivision or a separate political subdivision. And I'm hoping that that question can easily be answered, but I'm imagining.
Well, I'll try. I don't know if I can easily answer it, but I can tell you that it was run by legal, both by the town and the school, if this could be done.
Well, the same company.
They are the same company, absolutely. Different attorneys, but the same company. But I think you would agree that when people get their tax bill, they're not paying some to the school and then some to the town. They're paying their tax bill, which is the town, correct? Well, it's the town, Ralph, right? It's the town taxes that they're paying. Portion of it's school, portion of it's the town.
So the taxpayers have one pocket. And it's all
They do have one pocket, but when you go and you take a bus and you see that as an asset, and you take that asset and you put it over to the town, so they don't have to go and spend tax dollars to buy an asset, I think that'd be a gain for the town. Wouldn't you see it that way?
I think the intent was good. I'm not against the intent. I'm against the subversion of the funds raised and appropriated for a specific purpose.
And they did that. They got the buses and they used the buses.
For
And then,
student transportation is what the specific wording of the warrant article is. For student transportation. And it's not the only item in town that this happens with. So, no means no. Things like that, you know, I mean, I'm sure you all are fully aware of what's in the CIP. But there's funds raised and appropriated without the taxpayer's knowledge going into certain directions that the town has said no to. So I would hope the governing board would be astute in its studies and understand the verbiage of a capital reserve warrant or an article on the warrant and stick to it. Because to me, I mean, I don't know if the Attorney General would have the same opinion as the lawyers that are out of the same building working both political subdivisions.
So why don't you ask
The
them?
intent,
So,
the intent of
I
the
think
warrant
the-
article
right.
was
Matt.
fulfilled. They
Right.
bought a bus and they transport students.
Right.
The bus was in need of repairs, if I'm not
And
mistaken.
it doesn't say how long the
It
bus has to be held for.
Right.
How long do you have to keep it? 25, 30 years? Like, it doesn't say that.
Well.
It's the same
and
thing
I
as
would
using the
agree.
police department,
So,
right?
I-
We've taken the police department vehicles and we've transferred them
Auction
over
them
to
off.
the,
Auction them off.
we haven't auctioned them.
Right.
Well, we've auctioned
No,
some,
but
but
we've
we've
given
also
them to
given
like
them to
the
our public, to our.
building inspector or?
I
Right.
stood and placed bids on old buses,
Right.
but they're always coming out of service after 10 years.
Right.
And those buses, it was totally misrepresented, the condition. I know firsthand.
Should they have been sold, should they have been sold, like the
For a
ones
dollar
that, like you
to
bought?
us? For $1 to the
No.
town?
They should, so, there was a
Maybe.
warrant article in 2000 or 2001 that created the transportation, our own transportation in the school district. And that was specific, and it has been followed through. There's been no warrant article that says, let's provide, or let's have a provider do the student transportation. So there's a subversion right there. The people have not spoken on the issue, and the elected officials are acting, I think, lawlessly, and giving away assets and not following the decision of the voters in the school district, or the one-pocket taxpayer.
But giving it away to yourself is how I'm looking at it, right?
And
That's kind of my point, and I understand what you're saying, and that maybe that's a discussion for the school. This obviously is a town meeting, but Mr. Williams brings up a great point. The article says for the use of student transportation, but it has no limit on it. So using your logic, we'd never be able to trade them in. We could never sell them. We would all they would have to just sit there because.
no.
Yeah,
That,
I mean, that's
no,
kind
that,
of,
no,
I
that's,
mean-
that's
Like you're splitting
not,
hairs now.
Yeah.
not a logical conclusion.
Could we have
because the
traded that
discussion-
bus in? Those buses, could we have traded them in for other buses? Because then they're not.
Well, and we used to use some
But they
as a down
weren't.
payment on the next bus.
yeah, they used to, but they
Yeah.
weren't going to, because
Right.
they've been sitting or whatever was happening with those buses. So I don't wanna worry about what's going on with the school or
Right,
whatever
right,
on
right,
our end,
right.
but I think that, if, maybe we could have bought it for $1, then you're just buying it. So you're gonna either sell it to somebody, auction it off to somebody, or do something with it, so why
Again,
not donate it to the
I
town?
think it's a
So-
good use, I'm just concerned about the interpretation or the misdirection of monies raised and appropriated for specific.
Well,
Well, I
I
can give you a
also don't
classic
feel that we
example.
should
We
be.
had a warrant article for this wastewater treatment plant. The intent was to upgrade the facility,
Yeah.
right? And over the time, with language at deliberative sessions, that language seemed to be misinterpreted into like, we were putting this money in for a wastewater treatment plant. And that's not what the intent of that warrant article was.
Right.
I argued this with the trustees, but the intent was that was for the the wastewater treatment facility to upgrade, which we had used it for that all along, and then all of a sudden it got morphed into, a wastewater treatment plant. So the intent, I think the intent was made with the school buses. We purchased them, we used them, and when it was time, they voted they couldn't even find drivers for them at the time. They needed
We have the
maintenance.
same drivers.
So it was like,
Did we put this out to the attorneys? We asked all these questions.
yeah.
Right, and can I pose a hypothetical?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, let me pose a hypothetical to you, because when we started, and I think Mr. Duffy will remember this, they were gonna put a price tag on these buses, and it was pretty hefty. They were getting an evaluation of these buses, and they wanted to sell it to the town. If we had paid, I'm picking a number, $90,000 for 2 buses, wouldn't you be coming in here saying, I can't believe we're buying a bus twice, the taxpayers are paying twice for a bus?
Well, if that money was going back to the school district and being applied to the next bus, I wouldn't be there saying that. I would be saying, my real problem is transportation's been outsourced.
And that's a school issue,
Right.
is it not?
It is, and the assets that were gained through taxation, in my opinion, were misdirected. So now we've got one warrant article saying we provide our own transportation, let's raise and appropriate the monies. And the monies went from 20,000 to 50,000 to 100,000 a year. Those votes were still going on when the elected officials over in that political subdivision decided to change course without a vote of the legislative body. They can't change course without the voters having the say.
Understood. This is a town meeting, and that would be a school issue, right?
Right.
Okay, and I will also say of this board and of this town,
Yeah.
this is the same town, Board of Selectmen,
Yeah.
select people, if you will, that also put on the warrant when we had a messed up warrant article about a fire truck as opposed to a command vehicle. We scrambled around and made it, and we corrected that because of the
Emergency
intent, right?
Emergency response vehicle.
Emergency response vehicle. So I don't think it's responsible that you're coming in here and using, what's the word, for subversion or?
Yeah, subverting.
I just don't agree with that, but we can disagree.
We should.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna leave it.
Minutes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right,
That's my blood
administrative
pressure.
update.
All right. Yeah. Now I got to do a TA report.
Check mine.
Okay. I'm going to start right out. This is a short report tonight. We're going to start right out with Parks and Rec. Again, doing some great things on March 7th, Saturday from 5 to 7 at the Paul School. They're doing a father-daughter dance, $10 per ticket. They're going to have a DJ there, light refreshments. It's going to be that's going to be a good time. That's always very successful. Your husband did a few of those,
Yeah,
right?
yes, you did.
And
Yep.
they're a lot of
A lot
fun.
of fun.
The next day on Sunday, March 8th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., they're doing a fishing day, not a derby. This is entirely free. And it's going to be held at the Great East Boat Launch in Acton, Maine, right off of Canal. All ages welcome. And for the people watching at home, I really encourage everyone to visit Parks and Rec website. I was on it again today. A lot of events for adults and kids. You can find them at wakefieldnh.myrec, that's MYREC.com, for events for all ages. And that helps get rid of some of these winter blues I think that we're all going through. Although some departments are slower than others right now, our fire, police, EMT, and DPW and transfer station men and women are still very busy with the weather that we've been having. So hats off to all of them for keeping the roads clear, keeping us all safe and secure. I'm always just so proud of all those guys and ladies at that department. A reminder, there is a candidates forum this weekend at the Gaffney Library. It's the Meet the Candidates. It's a roundtable discussion. I think they're preset questions. That's February 28th, this Saturday from 10 to noon. 10 a.m. is candidates for the Select Board, which is Mr. Tom Daniels and Mr. Seth Garland. And at 11, candidates for the school board are Mr. Ralph Fogg and Mrs. Annie Gehring. I hope I said that right. That's live this is off their website, live at the Gaffney Community Room, and it's also streamed on Clearview TV. As a reminder, the elections are here at the Town Hall on March 10th from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Town officials and all the warrant articles will be on the school and town ballots. And with that, we should set a schedule for the Board of Selectmen, who will be covering the hours for that election. So if we could just take 5 minutes just to kind of square that away. I know that in the past, you've come later. Mark's come later.
I
You
always
come early?
come all day.
Okay.
I can spend the day. I
Okay.
just can't do the night.
What do you think your schedule looks like, Mark?
I might be able to do the whole day, be here, but I might just have to be away for the morning,
Okay.
just a little bit, because there's a contractor coming in that I might have to be there for.
Okay.
If everything goes good on that Monday, I won't, but
Okay.
So you're not here then?
Will you have to
Night.
go to
When-
Portsmouth, or you
I'll
do
do
it
the
from the
whole day.
house?
but
Like
Okay.
I always do. I always
Wherever
come
this-
in the
this
morning.
contract-
I would have to go to.
You'd have to go to
Okay.
Portsmouth?
Do the
Okay.
day and then leave at like 5 or whatever, or
Yeah.
7. Okay.
Yeah, at the end of the day, usually when it's usually like that second shift time, 3:30, 4 o'clock, or whatever time it is.
Okay.
What would you like?
If you want to come at like 5, I'll stay in.
No, I planned on taking the whole day.
Okay.
So I could just, especially if you have to leave for a little bit, that'll leave both of us, because you need 2, right?
We
Yeah.
need to.
So
Yeah.
that'll leave, so
Okay.
I'll just.
So if we have the two, I won't have to get a proxy then?
No.
Nope.
Okay, because I was gonna look for a proxy, because I know my wife can't do it.
Oh, she can't do it?
Yeah, so I'll just plan on the
Okay.
whole day.
Okay. Yep, that works. Then we'll have at least our 2. Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Okay. Building permit releases.
No, sir.
We've seen the treasurer's report. I got a treasurer's warrant for $128,496.56. Can I get a motion to carry that, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I got another one of these $1 million ones. I got $1,279,520.75. Can I get a motion to spend that?
I'll make that motion.
Second,
All in
sorry.
favor? Aye.
Aye.
That's our monthly school payment.
That was like a hesitation.
Charlie always says, motion to spend that. He doesn't say accept.
All right, we got February 11th, 2026. All three of us were there. Are we good with those minutes?
I am.
I am.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes from February 11th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have draft minutes for non-public on this February 11th, 2026. Number, draft minutes 1, draft minutes 2, draft 3. Can I get a motion to carry them, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. You got anything you wanna talk about, Mark?
Now, the Conservation Committee, meeting got canceled, so I really didn't have any meetings to go to this
All
week.
right.
Nice.
I've been working with the DPW. We had, well, we didn't have it until today, but we had another breakdown. We got 2 pickups down there. We got one pickup that's on its last leg, and we have a newer pickup that broke down today. So we're out of the pickups that do the dirt roads, and, the one that broke down today is being fixed. It's a newer one, we're fixing it, it's well worth it. It's not, it's not gonna be the end of the world. The other one is a 2016 Ford 250. It is, we've had it now, we bought it in 2019. We paid roughly $16,000 for it. It is on its last leg. Right now, before the leg breaks, I think we should be proactive, because if it breaks, the part that breaks is gonna be extremely expensive, and the truck's not worth it. Right now, if we was to trade that truck in, we could get basically just about all our money back that we paid for it in 2019. We got 2 offers here. We had one that wanted us to give us 10,000, and we didn't think that was enough. And we got one here that's willing to give 13,000, which would leave a balance of 19,530 to purchase another compatible same truck, very basic, very everything. Now, the only reason that I'm saying this is because winter's not over. And this truck is on its last leg, and it will be quicker than probably we'd like with big plowing. If we was to take it apart, we'd probably get another year out of it at the most. But the deal is that if it breaks, we get nothing. Right now, we can almost get our money back and start again freshly. We do have the money sitting in the grant, the highway grant. It was asked, I discussed it, and it was brought to my attention, what we use that money for. Well, we use it for this. We use it for buying a little truck or whatever that we can purchase, or we pay off, we use it for payments on the 10-wheeler. So the question was, do we have the money for the 10-wheeler still? Yes, we do. We have that money. Right now, we have about 24,000 in that account, but we got 36,000 coming in
Well, we'll have at least 2 more payments between 36 and 40,000
before we have to pay off that. So we'll have more than we need to pay the payment. So we're not gonna put us in a hole. Also, we're not gonna be asking the taxpayers for any money. It's grant money that we got for the highway broad grant. So it's kind of a state-given vehicle.
And Mr. Chairman, it should also be noted, this is an important point. Both of those trucks are are doing what we used to have the outside hire do.
Yeah,
We
no,
used
so
to
it's gonna
have
make that.
the small roads done by a third party,
Correct.
and these trucks are now doing that, which was saving us money, but that's why we're down some trucks.
So the
So-
truck is broken right now, or it's not?
The one that I'm trying to be proactive with
Right,
is on its last
On its
leg.
last
It's
leg.
not broken.
okay,
That's why it's.
Do it now
That's why
before
if
it
you don't
breaks.
trade it in now, you won't get anything.
right.
If we do it now as proactive, it makes sense. The other one is being fixed because that's one we bought not too long ago, and it's worth fixing. It's just, it's the.
That one will be under warranty.
Yeah, that's under warranty. It's,
Yeah.
it's a, you know, it's just one of them emission issues that we're all having problems with all these vehicles due to the new emission thing with this, diesel DEF filters. About the worst thing that could have happened to all these vehicles.
What year is the vehicle that he wants to
The,
purchase?
the one he wants to purchase is a 2020, which.
4 years newer.
Which is 4 years newer. There's another one that we looked at, which is a little more money, but this one is a little less miles. It's only 44,000 miles on it. The other one's got almost 150,000 miles on it. It's $1,400 less, so I figured we'd go with this one. I just need a consent, you know, for the board, because trucks don't last when you pick up a deal. So I had him look into these. There's nothing elaborate. It's as simple as simple. It's just gonna replace the one he's got because, I say we got another storm coming Monday, and we're not through with winter. So I don't wanna be stuck, and it's proactive. We're getting basically all our money back. It would only cost us about $3,000, maybe $4,000, for all those years that we've had it.
And I'm assuming that all the plow gear and hardware can go
Just gonna
from one
ask
truck
that.
to the next one?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah. They're basically the same truck, it's just a year newer.
Do I dare ask what's going to break on this?
Transmission probably. I can't say that it's going to break today. It's not that it is, it's just a matter of when. And if that goes, you're talking $8,000-$10,000 to replace on a $13,000 truck, it's not even worth
What
it.
is it not
a
shifting
10-year-old
correctly or?
truck.
I don't know the facts of it.
Yeah, I know, but be honest with you, it seems like this comes up every year. You know, we have a capital improvement plan, we should be kind of like.
Well, we've had it, it's 10 years old, you know, it's
I know, but
it's just a truck that,
What's on the capital improvement plan for those types of trucks?
oh, I do not know.
I would kind of want to know that, because, you know, this seems to be a yearly event where, you know, and
Tom, should I go get
no
mine?
offense, with Brock, because he
No,
does a great job.
this is proactive. This is making a judgment call for the townspeople due to the fact that you're not gonna get nothing if it breaks tomorrow. And it's apt to break. It's on its last leg.
Mr. Chairman, what are the two prices of the trucks? Because they're not extreme.
No,
One is-
one is 31,000 and the other one is, they're both 31.
okay.
One's 31,999, one's 31,794.
It's just the trade
One,
is
the
different.
trade-in is get different. So, my point is you get nothing if it breaks. Right now, you need it. We're down, we don't even have one working. We have one working, but I'm just afraid that being
What's wrong with that,
pressured.
what's wrong with that one? The one can be fixed?
That's some emissions
It's
thing.
it's the DEF filters that are, the emission things that these new diesel motors have to have, and they're all breaking. It's just stupid that we gotta go
You
through
don't have
that.
to inspect our vehicles now, so you just
Right.
bypass them, you know?
Well,
What was the trade, Charlie, what
yeah,
was the
and
trade?
and that's fine, but I don't believe that's, what you're supposed to do, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say that's what you should do, so I don't.
Charlie, I think Mr. Daniels is getting to Mark's question. I was gonna go grab mine. Were you looking it up, the CIP?
Yeah, there's nothing about
The small trucks.
Right, the CIP has the 10-wheelers in it, and it has the 6-wheeler in it.
I didn't think so.
So these,
Okay.
yeah, so these aren't
'Cause these
dump
are under a
trucks, these are
certain-
just
These are
regular
just a
one,
pickup truck,
110
just a-
pickup.
Just a regular pickup truck.
110.
And what
Just
was
ones they
the,
drive around in to get around everywhere.
what's the, trade-in?
13,000,
13.
and we only paid 16,000 for it 10 years ago.
And he has money in his budget then to
We have
paint
it in
it,
that- in
paint
that-
it,
in-
well, we have it for to buy it, but
Correct.
painting it and
We're just
lettering
gonna
it
letter
and
it.
all,
We're
all
not
that,
gonna
what do you
paint
do? You-
Yeah,
We're
why
just
would you
gonna
paint
letter
it?
Oh, don't you paint him red?
No, he
Oh.
they just luck
I don't
out and they
know.
find red ones.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's
Yeah,
not blue?
no.
No, he's got
Yeah,
like,
it's
he's got a
blue.
white one that
It's
he's got
blue.
the highway on.
It's blue, yeah.
Okay.
We've got a white, yeah, like
Oh, we
Mark
just
said,
leave
have
the
a-
same
Just
color
leave them
and we
put
just
the
letter
sticker
them.
on it.
Yeah,
Ew, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
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 We
I
just
thought we
happen
had
to
all
have
red color.
No, if you had to paint them all, it'd cost you a fortune.
I know, that's what I was wondering.
No, I'm just
Okay.
being proactive, and I think this is the right move. And it's only, if I thought this was gonna last a lot longer, it'd be different. But, talking with the mechanic, and it's the right move. It's not getting a new vehicle, it's still a used vehicle, it's just upgrading it so
And how many
that,
miles is the one that we're proposing to buy? That
44.
44,000,
44, that's
It's
not
pretty
too bad.
low, yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm
Paid
saying.
like 19,000, you said
And
530.
And I believe it's a good deal. I mean, I'm going through a truck repair right now, and I put $15,000 in a truck because I can't replace it for
Is
15,000.
this one diesel also?
That I didn't get an answer.
I don't know that.
I don't know that.
Does it say it in like
'Cause we
specs
have
or
a
anything?
problem with the diesel things here.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised if it isn't.
Usually in that picture they got like diesel on the side of it.
No, I don't see it. I don't see the big muffler, that you would see on a diesel. Looks like a small,
Is it this one too, or is it just,
no,
that's the other
that was
one?
another one that we chose not to. But, you hang on 2 seconds and I'll give you an answer. Power steering, four-wheel drive, brakes, advanced computer, front, rear, dual trip. Well, you know, I got everything on here, but it does not tell me if it's gas powered or diesel.
I know the diesels usually have more power and torque, but
You
if
wouldn't
he's
need
having
it.
troubles with the diesels.
Yeah, you wouldn't need it with what they use this for. Okay,
So you're looking for a motion on this.
I'm looking for a consensus to let
Right
them
now he's
move
looking for an
forward.
engine. There's a size, say the size of the engine?
Yes, 7.3 liter.
That's big. That sounds like a diesel. Aren't they that big?
385 horse.
Yeah, that big.
They are that
Sounds like
big.
a gas motor.
But it sounds like a gas motor to me. And if I look at it,
You would think that would be right in the specs if it was diesels.
if I look at it, I don't see, usually them diesels have them wide muffler ends, and this one has a skinny one on the end,
Yeah,
so.
these have, like even on the emblem, they usually says diesel underneath.
I'm looking right here, and it tells me that it's a medium black transmission, 10-speed, 44,000, 7.3 V8. Yeah, I would say it was gas if I was to guess, but I can't confirm that positively.
Okay, we take a truck, John?
Ford,
Oh, that's-
same as what we have. And it's just a replacement. And like I said, we've had the other one all this time. We could definitely keep it, take it right off. I wouldn't plow with it. That's what he said. He said, if we keep plowing with it, we're gonna lose it quick. If we don't, we could probably get a year out of it. But if we're willing to get generally 85-90% of our money back on it because of how trucks are valued in the state, here's the no-brainer. It's proactive.
Well, if the one we're getting's got the 44, it does make sense, because that's got a good,
And it's coming out of a government fund that is there for this reason or to pay the other, and we can still pay for the truck, and the taxpayers are not burdened with this whatsoever.
I have one request.
Yep,
They get it leaded immediately.
leaded.
Get an emblem on it.
Oh,
Because I've had complaints that we have trucks that we don't even know are ours because of the,
then if you give me, I will make that happen.
all right.
Okay,
I think this is the right move.
thank you. Thanks. It's a gas engine.
I was wondering when he was gonna go.
I know.
I'm like, how come he's not texting?
Normally I'd have him beating down
He
the
said he's
thing.
not buying any more diesel trucks, so it's
Oh,
a
okay,
yes.
it's gas.
Yeah,
All right, Brock, if you listen, you got a week to get that thing leaded.
I can tell you that, this is a big ongoing in the diesel world vehicles, is this death thing. Every time you go to a gas station, there's always empty boxes up beside the thing, but there's so much work to them because of this emission issue. But anyway,
I'm good with it.
I think it's a smart move.
I'm good.
All right.
All right, so do we
Need a
need a
motion
motion
on
for
that?
that?
Please.
Yeah, I would like, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we purchase the
2020
2020 Ford F
Ford,
350? 350?
you let me look
It's
one
a
more
F
time.
350.
350 gas
350.
for 31,000?
31,794.
794.
I'll second it on the condition it gets leaded as soon as possible.
Okay, and just to clarify, just so the public don't think we're spending 13,000 of it is a trade-in.
Trade in. Okay.
Um,
And on the off chance that there was a vote, Brock had me bring this in, so.
All in favor?
I want to see these
Aye.
folks on the capital improvement plan.
I think that's
Aye.
a fair statement with these trucks.
Yeah, because it seems like, this has happened down transportation.
Do we have a cost limit though that goes on the capital improvement? Like, is it at a certain level that you put things on a capital improvement?
Like, usually
Isn't it like-
it's a forecast, right?
5 to 10 grand.
5 to 10.
And I-
Okay, that was what I was working
And I
on.
was
Yeah.
working with Brock, we were coming up with a master list of all of their equipment, all of their trucks, the year they were purchased, their VIN numbers, all of the miles, all that kind of stuff. We were trying to put that big giant spreadsheet that was broken down by department, sewer versus, transfer versus
Yep.
highway. And so we did work on that in the fall, we didn't finish it, but we were pretty close to having it all buttoned up. Just to make it easier to read for everybody to know, everything from the, because there's a lot of heavy equipment that's in that mix too.
Right.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even be for it if I wasn't being proactive.
No, I know.
I just
Brock
want-
does
I
a
just-
good job with, finding this stuff.
Well, he did,
He does
and
it.
he actually found another one, but he went and, he said it wasn't quite enough on the trade-in, because trucks in this state have a very high value on replacement. You can't replace them for that. That's why it's nice to fix them. But if this breaks the way that they think it's gonna break, it wouldn't be worth throwing the same amount of what you can get out of it. So now's your time to make the break, make the move. Get rid of it. You don't need to buy, I wouldn't wanna buy a new one, cause they don't use it, they use it for the dirt roads. So,
And
I just think
Teresa-
it's a good proactive.
He found a red one, and I said, I'm not doing anything until we bring it to the board, and he agreed, and that one was sold. So
Oh,
he had a red
wow,
one
he
in his
had a
hand,
red one.
but-
Yeah,
Okay.
and they sell overnight.
Wow.
That's why I told
That's
him,
crazy.
get on this, get me everything that I asked for these questions, and I made I inquired about it today and got a few more questions that I needed to ask, and I answered them, and, so it made sense to me to move it.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, good job.
I'm glad it's coming out of that highway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Block grant.
it's not a taxpayer.
That's what it
thing,
was
yeah.
for.
That's what it's for. All right, so with that said, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
So moved.
All in
Second,
favor?
I mean.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.